so expensive, we're staying at room 13. Usually airy and usually buried, and that's just how my life goes. And I don't ever try to dress to impress. Fuck you, preppy asshole. On the 14th floor and a bathroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the party's mixed, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's Panthers on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on the deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 210 of Phired Sports. Check us out at phiredsports.com. I'm Mike Gilletta. Joining me as always, Mark Ramos. What's going on, Mark?
Not much, man. What's going on with you?
I'm excited. We finally have playoff baseball, right? No more speculating about, where the team's going to be, what moves they're going to make, who's going to do what down the stretch. Like, playoff baseball's here now. Because the Phillies got the bye, we have to wait a few more days for it to happen. But today we were able to watch some postseason baseball.
It was nice. It was nice. When I got in from work, I put it on right away. I was watching Gary Crochet's masterful performance at Yankee Stadium tonight.
Yep.
But yeah, this is the best time of year right here. This fall thing where all the sports kind of overlap. This is a good place to be right now.
Yep, and that everything that happened before tonight can basically be thrown in the trash. It's basically starting to see, like, it doesn't matter that the Tigers blew like a 16 game lead for the division. They're playing the Guardians and they won game 1. So
Yeah,
it's different storylines happen, obviously, and we'll talk about the Phillies, when that comes or whatever. But Red October is officially here. I guess the only sort of speculating that we have is like who goes game 2 and 3 and even 4 for the Phillies when it comes to pitching. Other than that, like, you get a healthy Turner back. We know what the lineup can do. I mean, I guess although the one kind of question mark with the lineup is with how good Bader's been, like, where do you put Turner in the lineup? Do you bat him lead off? Do you bat him second? Like, I guess that's the kind of question mark I have with the lineup. But other than that, yeah, it's really the pitching that is the big issue.
yeah, I would say so. I like Turner best, I think, in that leadoff spot. And I think that's best where he's best utilized. And but we'll see. I mean, they have this inter squad thing coming up, which drew a massive crowd. I mean, like, I think they're expecting like an actual game crowd.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yep.
For this open. So there's a lot of anticipation, especially, I mean, we've talked about it for several months now. This is it's exciting because playoff baseball is here, but it's also exciting and a little nerve-wracking, but mostly exciting right now that, like, all those things that we've talked about all over these last several months, it all kind of comes down to this, right? Like, this is the big, this is what we've been waiting for with this team. So,
Yep.
It's put up or shut up time, and I can't wait for it this weekend to see what happens here.
Yeah, and obviously, it's they don't know who they're playing yet. Obviously, it'll be the winner of the Reds and Dodgers. I mean, obviously, we'd rather play the Reds, right? Like, that's a given. I don't see them getting past the Dodgers. Obviously, I think the Dodgers are much better. The Reds don't even deserve to be in. Like, they backed into that last wild card spot, and I tweeted about it. Did you see, like, the dancing in the clubhouse after the game?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just like,
it's pathetic.
I feel like we do now, like, where it used to be like you celebrate it like you won the title and that was the big celebration. Now it's like we throw these, like, the guys are throwing these, like, bangers in the clubhouse when they just make it in. Like,
right, like,
they
me and
got the
Dom
tarps out.
have always gone back and forth about this because, like, That's why I wish he's kind of on. So, he could hear my opinion again for the millionth time. But we've gone back and forth on this. Like, I think it's insane that like if you clinch a playoff berth, you celebrate. If you win the division, if you win around, and he's like, yeah, whatever, like it's tradition. He likes it, and I was like, when you win something, do it. And like, I sort of understand where people are coming from in terms of like winning a division or even winning a pennant. Like I get it,
Right.
but it's when it's so watered down when it's every single like the Reds didn't deserve to make the playoffs. Like they snuck in. They lost a handful of games down the stretch to shitty teams like the Pirates. Like they just they weren't the better team. They just weren't. The Mets were just the worst team, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
the Mets lost it themselves. Like nobody deserves to celebrate for sneaking in to that to the to that third wild card. Also, we have a comment here. What the fuck with the Sox? I don't know if you're paying. Do you have the game on?
No, I do not.
So the Red Sox are up 3-1 in the bottom of the ninth. The Yankees have the bases loaded, nobody out.
Oh my god. I
Gotta
literally
love
just
playoff baseball. Gotta love
yeah,
playoff baseball.
I literally just turned it off, and I was just like, man, I mean, not because I thought it was over, but I was just like, Crochet, he's been dynamite tonight,
And they're throwing it in the trash right now here in the ninth.
and then here we are, and it's that no matter how many times, even though they broke the curse, it's still Yankees Red Sox. It's still
Oh, it's for sure. It's also like double agent spy or all this Chapman, former Yankee here that's
oh
balling for them.
oh man. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's
Yep.
great.
Yep.
Yeah. But
So
yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I think like I don't know. I think if I were a player, it would feel silly to me. Like it's one thing if you're like you're going to celebrate on the field and things like that. I don't have a problem with that. I think when you you back into the final wild card spot and they're like busting out the tarps and there's champagne on ice, I'm like, all right,
yeah,
let's go.
it's not and if they listen again, I've said it a million times, the Reds didn't deserve to make the playoffs, but at the same time, like if they won that final game and they won to get in, it's different. You just lost the game and you just happened to get in because the Mets also lost the game.
Yeah, right.
That's why, like, what are we doing celebrating after a loss like that? It's insane to me.
Yeah. I don't know why you would want to, but
Right.
yeah, I
And it's
mean,
tradition. So like even if they bring the champagne and the beers and all that in the locker room because it's tradition, that's what the teams do. As a player, I'm not acting like that after a loss. Like you just backed
yeah,
into a wild card spot. Like what are we doing here?
yeah. And then you got the Dodgers. like
Yeah,
like
right. Yeah.
right
Yeah.
out of the chute.
Have a fun 28 hours that you're gonna be, alive and then, the Dodgers are gonna get to you.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, this is what it's all about at this point. And yeah, I think we're just kind of waiting on the starters and how that's going to play out for the Phillies. Um, have they said Sanchez is taking the ball game one? Is
I
that
don't think they've said anything, but I can't imagine it be anybody else.
yeah? So um, just kind of waiting on that, I guess. And but I'm pretty certain, as I think we've all been here, that Sanchez will take the ball, and I'm gonna stick to my prediction last week. I think Nola will be the guy in game two.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think they're gonna go with Nola
Yeah. Yeah.
just for experience sake. I think that's gonna be their thought process
You're not
behind it.
going Ranger or even Luzardo. Like you're going Nola game two.
Yeah, the Lizardo thing, like I like Lizardo, and I feel more comfortable giving the ball to Ranger if I had to choose someone else. But I mean, like Lizardo doesn't really factor in for me on like taking the ball in game two. But um, yeah, I mean Ranger would be next up, but I think they're gonna lean experience for game two, and
I'm curious as to how much time or innings or any game at all that they give Walker Bueller. Because obviously hasn't
yeah,
hasn't had a ton of time with the team, but in the couple outings he's had, he's been really really good.
yeah, yeah. That's a weird thing. I don't. That's a good question. I don't know. Like I you're obviously bringing him in for previous experiences, which
Mhm.
he's obviously done very well, and he's done well in the postseason. But I don't. I'm not sure, man. I don't know if you feel comfortable doing that or you're just like. It feels strange to me when a player hasn't done that for you, even if they
Yeah.
have that long history of doing it in their career.
Right, because
I need to see it
there's
here.
there's different variables, right? Coaching staff, how you approach it, the relationship with the catcher. Like, there's a lot of different variables that go into it.
Right.
The
Right.
ballpark, like, there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. So that's an interesting question because he's definitely kind of uh, if he's the Walker Bueller that we're accustomed to, he's a weapon in the
Mm,
postseason. But I just don't know because we haven't had that familiarity yet. And like you said too, like same thing with like the catcher and all that. I mean, it's not a problem, right? Until someone gets their signals crossed and he throws a ball in the dirt and JT's
you're
not
right.
ready for it and goes skipping to the backstop. You know what I mean? Like, run scores or something crazy like that happens. Um, that's when it becomes a problem, right? That's
Yeah,
when everybody starts, well, we'll tear it apart then. But uh, those things tend to be there right from the get go. Those questions tend to be there right from the get go if you're looking at it objectively.
yeah, yeah, for sure. The Red Sox now have 2 outs, so they're almost out of this.
And they're still up two.
They're up 2, bases loaded. Again, they
Oh,
had bases loaded, nobody out. Now they have base loaded, 2 outs.
okay. So,
There's a strikeout and then a pop fly.
oh,
So
that insurance run Bregman got, that'll be huge
yeah,
if the Yankees do push a run across there. The drama.
see, love playoff baseball.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm obviously a big hockey guy. Everybody knows it. Stanley Cup playoffs are the greatest playoffs ever. In all the sports. But like, baseball, honestly, is up there. It's close second for me.
Yeah, and for totally different reasons, right?
Sure, yeah.
Like hockey has that like
Big,
chaotic energy
big
about it.
three struck him out.
Got him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's like hockey has that chaotic energy, right? And
The
baseball
intensity,
kind of,
yeah.
yeah, and baseball, it's intense, but in a totally different, like kind of like a really like a really good thriller or drama
Yeah.
movie kind of does. That's kind of what baseball has. So
With
for
the roller
totally different reasons.
coasters. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but both are fun. Both are fun, and I love when they cross.
Oh,
This is
absolutely.
you know. So
Yep. October's the best month of the year for sports, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah.
Um. All right. So obviously not a ton we need to talk about the Phillies. We kind of talked about it, and we'll talk. The good thing about when we do the show on Tuesday nights, there's not going to be a game on. Like, I think games 1 and 2 are what, Saturday, Monday, I
I think
believe.
so. Yeah, I think so.
So that I will be able to talk about the first 2 games next week. So,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hopefully they'll play the Reds, although I don't see that happening. And yeah, so now I say that, I'm going to switch over to the Reds game because, again, playoff baseball is great. There is also a preseason hockey game on tonight, apparently, on TNT.
Oh, really?
The Golden Knights and the Avalanche.
Uh,
I also have to decide. I know we talked about it last. I got to decide if like NBC and YouTube TV figure this thing out.
for
Did we talk about it last week? They're having like some sort of like contract dispute with YouTube TV, where like NBC might not, like, they might get rid of NBC, which means like no Flyers games, all that stuff.
no
And that
kidding.
was supposed to, the deadline was supposedly today, and I
I
haven't heard
didn't even
anything.
hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew the NFL one because we had talked about that, and I was
That
very worried
was
about that.
who was that? Was that CBS or Fox?
The
It was one of the. It
Fox.
was one of the
They
other.
were. Yeah,
Fox.
they
Yeah,
were. It was with Fox.
yeah. Apparently, it was now on NBC with
Oh
NBC.
my god. No, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, yep. And the deadline was today. I haven't heard anything about it,
Oh,
so I'm hoping that it just felt the cracks and it happened, but I don't know. Because that's gonna be a problem because I'm gonna have a week to find something else.
yeah, that's gonna be. There you go.
It is amazing watching the Mets always shit the bed.
The
Like,
amazing Mets.
the Mets are gonna Met. It's a motto we all live by.
Yeah, every every year.
Yes, yes. Did you see their owner like put out a tweet like apologizing to the fans?
He should. I would be upset. I wouldn't be apologizing to anybody. I'd be upset about the money I spent,
Yeah.
and then like my team couldn't even play meaningful baseball in October. That's my fault.
Yep.
Like, but you know, money can buy a lot of things, but apparently it can't buy you a championship. And
Yep.
there's got to be other things we're working there and at play. But yeah, no, that was I did see that, and I don't know where they plan to go from there, other than they're just going to keep spending money because that's literally the only thing they can do.
Why does anybody? Sorry, I'm. This is what happens when I watch live sporting events during the podcast. Why is anybody? And I've said this a million times, throwing the ball to Shohei Ohtani ever? Why are you ever throwing him a strike?
What, he crack one?
Yeah, home run. First at bat. Nobody on base. There's no reason to throw to him. Walk him. Let the next guy beat you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's he's special. So
Yep.
it's hard. It's hard to
Like
because then do you really want the perception though, like that you're that afraid of him, like even with nobody on base? Like, do you want to give him the Bonds treatment?
yes,
You do. Okay.
yes, yeah, yep. I'd rather win,
Yeah.
and
Well, I
him
think
not
we
hitting.
all would rather
Yes,
win, but
and him not having a chance to hit the ball 400 feet gives me a better chance to win.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah, it's true.
Like he bats lead off. There's nobody on base. The next guy after him, obviously Mookie Betts, great career. He's at this point in his career, he's not Shohei Ohtani. I'd rather that guy try to beat me.
Yeah. I didn't realize how close Mookie is to potentially not anytime soon. I think he still has to have a couple more seasons of this, but I'm surprised that, well, not surprised because he is an excellent player. I shouldn't say surprised. That's not the right word, but I think I did not realize that he was that close to 3,000 career hits. And I didn't think that was going to be a threshold like that most guys would hit anymore.
Yeah.
Like that 3,000 hit plateau.
Well, he's been around over 10 years at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like is he 50? Is he correct? 15? Probably not quite 15, but at least 10 to 12, right?
Yeah, he's got to be in that range. And that, speaking of, like we were talking about the Red Sox earlier, what a colossal mistake that was to let him.
Oh yeah, for
To let
sure.
him go. But yeah, I think
He's played 12 seasons.
12.
This is his 12th, yeah. And
Yeah, I saw someone post about his
he'd
numbers.
have to play for a lot more to get 3,000 hits, though.
I saw somewhere though, like it was like, I wish I could remember where I saw it, but it was like a trajectory kind of thing, like a projection. Like if he stays on this current projection, he's gonna get awfully close to it.
I mean, he'd probably have to play another like 9 or 10 years.
Yeah,
maybe 8. I might be selling out a little bit. Like so he's played 12 years and he has 1,767 hits. So just over 1,700 hits.
yeah.
So
yeah, and I mean he's in his early 30s, right? 32, I think.
That's 32. Yep.
So I mean he's definitely gonna have an opportunity to at least get close. And it's just, I think the way the game's played today, it's hard to think about. Like whereas like that was like a big time threshold for like some of the games, like real premier contact hitters.
Yeah. Oh no, he's a great player. He turns 33 by the way next week or in 2 weeks.
So he'll be 33.
So, yeah. No, he's a tremendous player. He's like one of my all time like favorites to watch too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we can move on to some Eagles talk then. It's funny. It's like the complete opposite of what we were talking about last week, where like you have nothing going for you in the first half, then you come out in the second and you dominate. What the hell happened in the second half of that game, the Bucks game? Like it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm perplexed by it even still. I was going to ask your thoughts, so maybe I could. I was going to ask your
I
thoughts
don't.
first, so I could gather
Yeah,
mine.
I don't have any. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't because like it's funny. It's like the game against it was the Rams, right? The where they
Mm.
like yeah where they came back or whatever. But like in that game, everybody's like, oh, maybe you could either make adjustments or Sirianni didn't like what was happening, so he took over. Jalen Hurts did this, like so like that's more you could justify that or explain that more. But when they were as good as they were in the first half and they just changed things up for no reason in the second half and things looked less creative and I I don't think it was and maybe I'm not giving the Bucks as much credit as they deserve, but like to me it didn't seem like they were trying to like do something that the Bucks figured out and was trying to counteract that. For whatever reason, the second half started and they just had a completely different game plan.
Yeah, it felt like a very different team and
Yeah.
execute like from an execution standpoint too. And you know, even though I it's this bizarre thing because it's like you can't really like in one respect you really don't want to like critique like really start picking apart wins like they are 4-0, but we've seen a lot of like mixed bag stuff through 4 weeks, and you want to kind of see some of that ironed out in the coming weeks, because I really don't understand. Like they got to figure out something on offense. I have no complaints, no qualms about Jalen's game, but they need to start finding holes. They need to start creating holes for Barkley, and AJ Brown needs to be more involved in some respect.
Mhm.
It just doesn't. It doesn't make any sense, and we know, like it's like everybody looks like they're playing like their hair's on fire in the second half of last week against the Rams. This past week, it's just like once again, it's the same thing again, and that seems like it's so much more than just Patullo and play calling to me. Something's like I don't know that with some of the issues here, like I I don't know if it's the offensive line, like that maybe it's just the O line's just not as they're not playing as well as they have because um we've seen Barkley kind of look dormant at times where like he kind of looks cold. And I think that all that stuff is predicated on, their ability to kind of help him create space. Barkley's one of those guys, of course. He can create space himself. But I mean, he's getting the ball in some of these instances and some of these play designs, and there's already like a guy in the backfield like waiting for him. Like
Yeah,
so
I mean, it was maybe Becton was a bigger loss than we thought. Like that's entirely possible.
yeah. And Pryor and some of these guys
Mhm.
that come in as subs, maybe they're just simply not that great.
And
But
I think Lane missed some time during the game, and like once that happens, then you're done.
yeah, and that's been 2 weeks in a row now with Lane.
Hmm.
He's
Yep.
missed time 2 weeks in a row, and he's older. So
Yep.
it's just like he's got a lot of football under his belt. So it's just like, I don't know, man. It just 4-0 is 4-0, but it just feels like there's been a
It's
lot of
still
good, bad, and ugly.
it still kind of feels like 2 or 3 years ago. I forget what year specifically it was, where like the Brian Johnson year, where like yeah they were winning a ton of games, but like it just didn't like it felt like they were going to eventually get exposed because like the offense wasn't sustainable. Watching them week in week out, we knew eventually it wouldn't work, and that's kind of what happened halfway through that season. But yeah, it's the one thing I did want to kind of talk about and address, and you mentioned it, and large perception among Eagles fans is the AJ Brown thing and him, quote unquote, not getting involved. But like you look at his, like he had nine targets on
Yeah,
Sunday. Like it's not that I think they're trying, or okay, I guess what I'll say is I think Hurts is trying to get him the ball. I don't love the way they're kind of scheming AJ Brown. They're just like sending him on like 5 to 10 yard curl routes and like saying here, have fun.
yeah,
And in the NFL, I think it's incredibly easy to defend.
right.
Because Hurts will either throw it maybe a second too late, or it's just really predictable. So by the time Hurts gets him the ball on those curl routes, like the defender's there to knock, just bat it down.
Yeah.
So But yeah,
Yeah,
like that's he is. I feel like Church is trying to get him involved, but I mean, again, 9 targets, only 2 catches, obviously, but 9 targets. I
yeah.
think you should do a little more with that.
Yeah, I think it's like a combination of a number of things because like I feel and I've said this to friends and stuff like talking during games and stuff like that, but I'm like, some of these like in routes and posts, not post like in routes and slant routes that he'll run on occasion.
Mm.
Um, I just don't feel like he's getting the same separation
Yeah,
from
that's fair.
DBs that he was getting before, and that's like totally on him. I don't know that he's being covered differently
Mhm.
or anything like
Did he
that.
lose a half step? Like in the NFL, that's gigantic.
Yeah, like absolutely. So it's like, if that's the case or that's a part of it, you can do things from a scheme perspective to get him more involved, of course, but you're really not going to be able to make those things up. Like, I don't know that I'd be, based on what I've seen so far, it's like, do you want to like draw up like a screen for him? And it's just like he doesn't have the burst to get away.
No,
You know what
that
I
doesn't
mean?
have breakaway speed. No,
So I don't know, man. And then it's tough, and they're going to have to figure something like that out as we go. And hopefully, it's just one of those like guys are just starting off slow or they're just trying to feel their way through it right now. It's still early in the year. Of course, you don't want anybody to be peaking this early or anything like that.
sure.
But um, it's enough to raise questions about it for sure. And
Yeah.
that feels so weird and odd though because they're a 4-0 team.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And there are times where they look like oh, of course these are the defending Super Bowl champions, and then other times it just you're just like things just collapse in on itself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For
Yep.
way too long of stretches of games. And that's going to have to be cleaned up here very soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. But again, the good thing is they're 4-0, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They're winning games, and which gives you more opportunities to, I guess, try to figure it out. You don't have to get desperate at any point. Like, figure this shit out. You keep winning. Like, they have Denver this week, and like, I don't think Denver's like all that special. Like, they're
yeah,
fine, but honestly, I think the Bucks are a better team. Like, and you just beat the Bucks. So, I
yeah,
mean, I think it's a winnable. I think they could easily be 5-0.
yeah, yeah. They do have. I don't know what the numbers look like for Denver, but I know that like they've had. Yeah, like there you go, right? Like there's another. They're gonna play Denver, and we're talking about like AJ Brown's involvement, and he's probably going to get a lot of Certain in his
Yep.
face, and
And then
I
figure out how to use Devontae Smith or Dallas Goddard or Saquon.
don't,
Like, there's weapons all over the place. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
figure it out, I
absolutely,
guess.
yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, the Broncos so far, so the first week they played the Titans, and the Titans are probably the worst team in the NFL. But they beat the Titans 20-12. Then week 2 they beat the Colts, or I'm sorry, they lost to the Colts by 1 point. And like, real talk, like, who the hell knows what the Colts are right now? Like, I know everybody's in love with Danny Dimes, going there or whatever, but like, I don't know, give it some time. And then the Chargers beat the Broncos in week 3. And like, Herbert's playing well and better, but like, I don't know.
we'll wait and see.
Exactly. Like, that's not like, again, they lost to that team. But and then the Bengals, you know, might even be worse than the Titans. They're right up there. They beat the Bengals 28-3. So
Yeah,
you kind of almost throw that game out because the Bengals are a mess, especially without Joe Burrow. I mean, listen, maybe
yeah,
they'll finally get a top 3 or 5 pick and can finally use it to protect Joe Burrow.
yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, they should do that.
They should probably do that.
So, but yeah, I just think they're beatable, the Broncos, and at some point they are going to have to find a way to get Saquon more involved, whether it's try to figure out the run game, or even if it's something like start setting up screens for him, get him in space. Like, you got to do something to get him involved,
Yeah,
or,
yeah, no, I
or
agree.
success even.
Yeah, yeah, they're gonna have to get creative with that too. And I do think though, like I agree with you about the Broncos, but I do think that defense is typically tough, and I think
Mhm.
that that'll be a good test for this offense. And they still should have enough talent there, of course, to get it done. But I would like to see some a little bit more creativity there, and trying to create something for some of these guys to you have a lot, you have explosive playmakers on this offense, so let's start trying to kind of work them in here and see if we can hit some of those big plays
Mhm.
that we haven't
And
seen
listen,
before.
we've seen him get a little creative in terms of like the red zone offense, like a couple
Yeah,
like creative plays to Dallas Goddard for a
yeah,
couple scores, the fake tush push that they had. So they've shown a little more, which is so weird though. Like we've seen creativity in some angles, in some aspects, and then like again, that second half there was just vanilla and plain, and there was nothing to it.
yeah.
It's very very
That's a
odd.
good that was a good point, though. I'm, like, bringing that up because I wanted to talk about that, how much I love the
Hmm.
fake push and the little shovel pass to Goddard.
Yep.
If you're able to add that to your arsenal in the red zone with all this talk about the tush push and stuff like that, now you got these 2 or 3 other options where it's not like, "Oh god, here they go again," kinda thing. You have to be prepared for a number of different things, and I love that they showed that this week, kinda flexing their muscles a little bit that they can do a number of different things in
Right,
the
and
red zone.
now it's always gonna be on the defense's mind that, like, shit, they could do something else here, or you could get even,
Exactly.
creative enough to where you send somebody in motion and act like you're gonna fake it, and then you just do the tush push it, like, there's other
Yeah.
ways to get creative with it and kinda keep the defense on their toes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I love that.
Yep,
And, yeah, it's funny, like, we're talking about that and, like, there's that creativity we're
yep,
talking about, and then the second half, we see none of that.
nothing, yeah, nothing.
So, and they have gotten some big plays in terms of, like, Sidney Brown picks up this, he gets the scoop and score on the blocked, it was a blocked punt, right?
Yep,
And, that all that stuff's great, and I feel like it's happening so much more this year, like blocked field goals and blocked punts, like,
mhm,
um, and, that's those are
yeah,
big, big plays.
sure, the Eagles have had, what, 3 in 2 weeks?
Yeah,
They
they're
had
huge
2
plays.
2 field goal blocked last week, a punt blocked this week, and, I mean, special teams has been great for the Eagles so far. Great.
Yeah,
Other
yeah,
than,
so you can't
other against it was the Rams where, they couldn't catch a return to save their life.
dude, that's
It
crazy.
was ridiculous. Other than that, the
Yeah,
special teams has been really good.
yeah, yeah, it has been, so, yeah, all in all, 4-0, but, definitely some things to clean up here for them, and, of course, I'm sure they know that, and,
Mhm.
we'll see what they do this week.
One thing I do wanna say is, Cooper DeJean, I think, has been really impressive. Like, especially, like, as just a tackler, like, as soon as somebody gets the ball, Cooper DeJean's gonna find it and make the
Yeah,
tackle and isn't gonna let the guy go free.
yeah.
'Cause I did wanna talk about the defense a little bit, like, I I don't know, like, how do you evaluate so far, Quinyon Mitchell? Like, obviously, he was great last year as a rookie. I think he's been fine so far, in his second season, but I don't know that he's taken the step that I kind of wanted him to this season.
Yeah. I think, I would agree with that. There were moments, where he did not look great,
Mhm.
this past week, uh, the kid from, Tampa
Yeah, I
the other
forget his name. I'm
Abuka?
not even gonna try to pronounce. Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds right. He's a
yeah.
really, really good player. Really good
He's
player.
very, very
Yeah.
talented, and, like, I do think Mitchell has, like, that, no matter how bad it can get for him out there or, how bad he may get beat, like, one thing I, like, really, really like about him is, like, he's always about the next play,
Mhm.
continuing, like, the play through that, and sometimes, I think for guys it can snowball, like, they're getting beat all over the football field, and then, like, it's just like, that's when you start seeing guys get their signals crossed and they're
Yep.
looking over at the safety. Oh, I thought you had like, you know what I mean? And as a guy's walking in to the end zone. So it's like, he has an unwavering confidence in himself, which I
Yep.
think is awesome. And I think he'll be okay. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think he could be better. Um, he's not anywhere near what I think we've seen him look like in the past. Certainly not this past week, but um, I'm interested to see because this week, Denver's got some good receivers. They got some speedsters. They got Cortland Sutton on the outside. He's a big physical receiver. So I'm interested to see how that kind of all works out this week and how he kind of responds to that. But yeah, I would agree with you on that. Like that he's just kind of been okay.
Yeah.
Um, but we've seen him play a lot better than this.
Yeah, for sure. One person I do need to see a lot more from is a Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
There's time where like I forget he's even out there. Like I need to see so much more from him. It's not even funny.
Yeah. It doesn't feel, like I don't know, man. Like
Like I thought or I expected him to just come in and dominate this year. I don't know
yeah,
why I expected that. I guess he was so good last year for most of the season that like I expected him to take a step in the right direction and get better and stronger but like haven't really seen a lot from him this year.
yeah, yeah. No, and I wish there was a lot more. Um, he has that ability, right? Like you said, like last year, like he can be an absolute play wrecker, and it just you know. I think in general, I think the Eagles could pressure the quarterback a lot more like than they do. Um, I'd have to look at the numbers. It's just kind of like a feel thing, like like that I have about them. But
Like I agree with that. Like it's what I guess what's the reason? Because it's scheme should be the same. It's the same coordinator.
yeah,
Um, I know there's like a few moving parts in terms of like defensive line, and they have a couple new bodies, but like I don't know. What's the reason for it? Is he just not playing as well and isn't as dominant, or is there something else going on? Whereas maybe it's personnel, and who knows? I don't know.
yeah,
That's
no, they can all be reasons for that for
yeah,
sure. Um, and to be a fly on the wall in that locker room, I would like to know.
yeah.
Uh, but no, yeah, I mean, and it was like funny this past week. I mean, like we had talked a little bit about Baker. And exactly what I was talking about was the Jahad Campbell pick at the end, towards the end
Mhm.
of the game, was that like that's a play, right? He's got to, he's just got to like get rid of that. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Like everything's breaking around, busting down around him, and
I think
it's
it got deflected at the line too. I believe, right?
did it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure ever so
Uh,
slightly. I don't know if it changed really
okay.
the ball trajectory that much, but I think it got tipped at the line.
Oh, okay. Because I know that the pocket completely collapsed on him. He
Yeah,
was out
yeah.
rolling out.
Yep.
And it was just, but he's like one of those guys. He's a gambler like that, and he's not going to give up on a play. But there's an opportunity, to kind of put the finishing touches on that game.
It's why if you're a fan of the team Baker Mayfield plays for, it's why you love him and why you hate him. Like
Yeah,
it can go either way. It's if that's a touchdown and rolls out and fights for it, like you're gonna love every bit of it. But if it turns out the way it did, then you're like, dude, what? Get rid of the ball.
yeah.
Like,
You're like, what are you doing?
yeah,
Yeah, no, and that's so Baker Mayfield.
yep.
Like
I love Baker. I think he's easy to root for. I love his attitude. I love the balls he has on him. That sounded weird to say, but
pause.
but no, it just we talked about him a little bit in the group chat.
Yeah.
I just think he's easy to root for.
No, he
Um,
totally is. He totally is. And that's awesome. Like that's what's awesome about him is like the grit and like he doesn't
yeah,
back down from anybody and all that. It's one of his best qualities,
yeah,
and I like Baker. I like Baker too. I'm glad it's working out for him in Tampa, but that's exactly like such a Baker Mayfield play, I think,
yeah, for sure,
was the
without a
end of
doubt.
that game.
Yep. All right. We could do. You want to move on to our picks then?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. All right. So Dom texted in his picks. So I have his picks. He has the Vikings Browns. He got the Vikings -3.5. He's got the Giants and the Saints +1.5. He has the Chiefs, which who the hell knows what's going on with the Chiefs this year? I know they just won this weekend, but I don't know. He's the Chiefs and Jaguars -3 for the Chiefs, and then he's got the Dallas Jets over 47.5, and then he has Denver Philly over 43.5.
Okay.
So what do you got?
All right. I have the Vikings too at -3.5.
Okay.
I have the Bills at 8.5 over the Pats on Sunday night.
Okay.
And even though I'm not crazy about the games, I didn't love the spreads and stuff this week.
Really,
But,
I saw a bunch that I actually really liked.
oh,
I was
really?
the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go, and I hate this, and it's totally gonna. This is gonna be I'm gonna take Dallas at -2.5 over the Jets, and that's 100% a game the Jets are gonna win. I just know it.
Yeah. Yeah, it could. I mean,
Yeah.
it definitely could.
Yeah.
But
And then
then that's it's a win-win because either you win this pick or the Cowboys lose. So
yeah.
unless Dallas wins by like one, then you're kind of screwed.
That's what's going to happen. That's what sends you through the roof about
Yes,
it
exactly.
is that they win
The
but they don't
Jets
even cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So those are the against the spreads, and then for the over unders, I have the Giants and the Saints under 41.5 and
What was it under 40?
41.5, and the Titans Cardinals, that's also under 41.5.
All right. All right, so I have the Texans and the Ravens. This line seemed really weird to me, so that's why I had to take it. The Ravens, I don't think are going to suck forever. They'll eventually figure it out. They're a +1.5 home underdog, so I'm going to take the Ravens against the Texans.
Oh, well, do you know why that is?
1.5. Why is that? Is somebody out that I don't that I'm not aware of?
Well, Lamar's not going to
Oh
play.
shit! Really?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Lamar's playing. He
What?
hurt his hamstring last
Wait,
week.
that line makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
God damn it! Hold on, I'm gonna have to Google this real quick.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know if I should let you get off the hook with that. You just
That's
said it
fine.
on the show.
That's
So
fine.
you might. No,
That's fine. No, you know what? That's fair. Yeah, he could miss 2 to 3 weeks with a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
Huh. All right, I guess I have to stick with that. That's fine. I'm cool with sticking with that. Damn, I wish I did my research. Listen, I just did this like a half hour before our show started.
You did.
Right?
Yeah. We were waiting to get the start.
All right. Now, maybe there's something else with this line, a situation I'm unaware of in this game as well. But I have the Giants and the Saints. The Saints, I think, are a bottom 3 team in football. Jackson Dart has a game under his belt. The Giants are +1.5 against the Saints. Give me the Giants. Then I have the Raiders and the Colts. And listen, everybody, we've talked about earlier, everybody loves the Daniel Jones redemption story. So I have the Colts -6.5. I have the I'm going also to the Cowboys in the Jets game over 47.5. Dallas is has really high scoring offense this year, and I know it's CD's out or whatever, but they still have a high scoring offense, and their defense is terrible, so that should be a high scoring game.
Yeah,
theoretically. Then I have the Bills and the Patriots under 50.5.
Cool.
So there you go.
So you're all in on the Ravens and Cooper Rush this week.
Yes, is that who your backup is?
Cooper Rush is the backup.
God forbid. There were other games too that I liked. I didn't realize that. Oh
yeah,
God.
I mean, Baltimore's decimated by injuries. Their defense is completely banged up.
This is on me. I deserve everything I get from this pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to blow it up there, but I mean,
no, you had to. If it wasn't you, it was going to be somebody. So
yeah,
you had to. God, that's terrible. All right, whatever. We can move on then. So there really isn't. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of news in terms of Sixers and Flyers, but the training camp's underway, preseason's underway for the Flyers. I don't know if you want to talk about either either team, heading into the season. The Sixers are in mid-season form with all the injuries they're having. Jared McCain's out again for God knows how long. Like, what's going on? I don't know. What do you want to
Yeah.
talk about?
We could talk a little bit about both. I mean, the Sixers did come out with they're bringing back the black
The
Iverson era
Iverson era jerseys. Yep.
jerseys, and I like the whole presentation for it. I
Hmm.
may have said on this show before, like I'm not a huge fan of black jerseys, and I wasn't a terribly huge fan of the black Iverson era jerseys, but I think it's really really cool that they're bringing them back. I love that they're laying out the old like Wells Fargo Center court uh, for those games too, so that'll be cool. Um, but yeah, man, it's
Are they
almost
really? Is that
common
what they're doing?
for what.
That's what they're doing? They're doing the old Wells Fargo
Yeah,
Center or
it's kind of like
Xfinity Mobile Arena or whatever the hell it's called now.
yeah, yeah. It's like the
Are,
same.
are they going to put Wachovia Center or whatever the hell it was back in the early 2000s?
I don't know. That would be cool if they did, because they put for the other ones, they put the Spectrum logo on the floor. So that would be cool if they
Okay,
did.
yeah,
Um, so although I don't know, maybe Wells Fargo will sue or something if they
yeah,
do that.
yeah. I don't think they can do that.
Yeah, but yeah, like, but no, I like the uniforms. I wish that they were like I wish they were like shiny, like the original ones were. They don't have the same kind of like. I know that like the manufacturers and the way the uniforms fit and the guys wear them now are a lot different, but
Yeah,
they don't have the like shininess to them
yeah.
that the originals did. But and I think the Sixers actually they're in Dubai. I think for a
Are they?
preseason. Yeah, I think they're playing a preseason game in Dubai. Um,
Why? What? Why are we trying to do all these international games?
I don't know. I don't know.
Why? When
To grow to
they're
grow the
going.
game, Mike.
Look, all right, you don't need to grow the game. Like the game makes a gazillion dollars here.
Yeah, and basketball's
What
pretty
more?
global.
Yes.
So
And the football is taking it like Goodell wants an international game every week. Like,
yeah,
get out of here! I got Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl. What are we doing? Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're all right. No, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's almost comical at this point with the injuries with the Sixers, or
Yep,
it is
it's like a thing. It's
comical.
a bit at this point.
Yeah, it is a bit, and I don't, I don't get it. I don't know why that's happening. Um, they also brought in Amani Bates, who was a like a pretty good bench guy. Um, I don't. He's younger. I don't think he's gotten many chances to play. I don't know the exact. I know he'd spent time with the Cavaliers and stuff like that, but the Sixers picked him up. That happened this week, I believe, or last week, and he could be like one of those under the radar kind of additions that kind of helped this team. So that's pretty much all that's out there right now. I think about the Sixers and the fact that we don't know really any real timetable on Joel's return or PG's, which I
Hmm.
think is what came out of media day. Um, so uh, kind of status quo there, but I think the fact that Embiid had been out there like at like in the camps where it was a good sign, but it doesn't look like at this point they're ready to like clear him for any kind of like playing time or anything like that. But yeah, I think the have you been watching any of the Flyers preseason or
A little bit. But before we go to Flyers, like one question with the Sixers. It could be a quick yes or no. They don't have to get into it. They obviously missed the playoffs last year. Are they a playoff team?
see that's not that easy of a question. Like it's just it's depending on a myriad of factors here. Like
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
are they going to have PG and Joel number one? Like I would say no
Okay.
uh, as of today, but that could change within hours. I think.
Yes. Fair enough.
Um,
I move over to the Flyers. I've paid attention mainly to the games that have been televised because like anytime I got to start like searching for games, it just gets too much. So I've followed the games that have been televised. But I think it was only like one or two of them. I've kind of followed training camp a little bit. Made a handful of cuts today from what I've seen. I don't know if it's anything all that surprising. I know Alex Bump, people were hoping would get a roster spot. He got sent down. Emil Andre is another guy that got sent down that kind of Flyers fans have, kind of been disappointed he hasn't made the team yet. Although I'm not incredibly surprised. Other than that, like I don't think there's been anything all that crazy. Or Luchenko still with the team, right? He
Yep.
hasn't been sent down yet, so he'll be caught, probably one of the final cuts unless he makes it. But yeah, there hasn't been too many surprises. I don't think.
No, no, it's kind of been the bump thing was with Alex Bump. I think that was. I think not so much that he was sent down, but I think the fact that I think people were expecting a lot more, coming into this season,
Mhm.
and
I was
uh,
excited to watch him. I really was.
yeah,
He hasn't showed much yet.
no, not in camp, but there's nothing wrong with that's okay too, like that's too like I. It's the same thing with Lachenko, where like I understand kind of Guelp, his junior team is not great. It's been a disaster there for them. But if the Flyers have to send him back to Guelph, it's not the end of the world. I mean, he's
Does that rule change yet? Where you get
no,
that's because I know there was like conflicting reports. Is like it was going to start this year or next year, so that starts next year then. So
yeah,
they can't even send him to Lehigh.
no, he can't. They have the age restriction still as of
Yeah.
this year, so he
Okay.
can't play in the A, even though that would probably be the best place for him.
Yeah.
Um, but I think whatever they decide to do will not hinder his long term development. Whether they keep him and he's kind of locked into like a fourth line role, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. But if he goes back to Guelph, I mean, like, I don't think that's a bad thing either. Even though that program's not great, there's always opportunities for trade or something like that where he goes and gets to play for a better program and a better team that has a chance to play for the Memorial Cup or whatever the case may be. I don't think that's like that big of a deal. Same thing with Bump. Like spending some time in the A isn't going to kill him,
No.
and well, if he's meant to be that player, he'll make it and he'll get another chance.
Yep. The one kind of I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like the one like I think the one disappointment I have, and again, disappointment is probably not even the right word, is that like a guy like Rodrigo Abels is probably going to make the team, and like he's shown that he can be a capable NHL player, but I don't think anybody's expecting this Flyers team to be a playoff team. We're kind of still in the middle of a rebuild. Um, should they? Abels is I think going to turn 30 soon. Like I the rebuild fan in me wants to see more Alex Bump get more of an opportunity than watching a 30-year-old Rodrigo Abels who like this is his ceiling. This is it from
Yeah.
Abels. That's the only disappointment I have, but at the same time I get it.
Yeah, he's played legitimately well
Yeah.
in camp. Like, I mean, he's played all the preseason games. His story's remarkable.
Sure, yeah.
Like it's even a step larger than your kind of like traditional journeyman hockey
Mhm.
player. You know what I mean? Like he's played everywhere. He
Yep.
speaks like multiple languages. Like he's
Yeah.
like a really like interesting guy. And on top of that, he's like out there scoring goals in preseason, sniping goalies. He's like doing all this great stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be fine in that like fourth line role. But as you said, that's likely his ceiling at this point.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, so that's like the conundrum, right? Is like it's hard to send him down because he's legitimately played well. But at the same time, there are guys that, in this rebuild and how quickly this rebuild's going to kind of move forward, it's kind of like we'll see what um, as far as like getting like working those younger players in. Everybody wants to see the young guys,
Mhm.
or just like we're always like banging the table for uh, like play the kids kind of
Yeah.
thing. Um, and they're going to play them. I do think that that's going to happen, but it may just not be right this second, and yeah. And I mean, they can move Apples into that, extra forward role too. And I think that would be fine. If Lachenko does make the team, I would imagine Obels will be on the roster, but he'll be like a plug and play type of player, and they'll get a look at Jet.
Do you think
And
Lachenko makes a team? Like, how would you evaluate? Because I haven't watched him all that closely. How would you evaluate his training camp?
so, Lachenko is interesting, I think, because it's like he's actually like legitimate. All the things that he does well, he's done well, I think, in these games. Uh, you know, the intelligent plays with and without the puck. Um, the great skating ability. I think we've all seen that in these preseason games. Um, Tocchet had mentioned recently about wanting to see more offense from him. There was a moment last night they were in Boston, and he got some power play time, and Lachenko had passed up like 4 or 5 legitimately like chances to shoot the puck. Did not want to shoot it,
Mm,
and where the point like if you're on Twitter and stuff like that, people are just like, this man will not shoot he just will not shoot the puck.
yeah,
Like we don't understand
gotta
why he's
shoot.
not. And you know, they weren't even like some of them weren't even like forced passes or anything like that. It was a fine decision. It was just I think they want to kind of see him get more aggressively offensively, and I just
Hmm.
don't know if he has the confidence in his skills yet to be that player.
Yeah,
Because he's kind of like I think at worst his game will be like he's going to be an intelligent checking line player, which you obviously need. But I think
they're
the
hoping
Flyers
for more
obviously,
than that.
yeah, they're hoping
Yeah.
that there's more to his game there. And but for right now, I think he could totally step into like a fourth line role in the NHL and kind of do exactly that, be like that checking line centerman that provides a little bit of speed and maybe a little pop offensively here and there. But I don't think right now the player that they're hoping he's going to be, like, I don't know that he's necessarily there yet. So, we'll see what happens there. But I, as far as him making the team, it's like I said earlier, like I think a lot of people believe he's going to be on this team. I actually put on Twitter, I think they're going to end up carrying. I think they're going to carry 2 extra defensemen.
You think Yinning makes the team? Because I did see your tweet.
Yeah, I think he's going to make the team. I think I think they like the physicality,
Hmm.
the size thing on the bottom pair. He's been noticeably more aggressive. I think he was paired. I covered the game on Saturday, this past Saturday, preseason game with Boston, and he was paired with Jamie Drysdale, and he did some okay things. And I think that they really kind of like the physical nature of his game, and
Hmm.
he's a little bit bigger. And I think the Flyers think they're a little too small on the blue line as it is. So I do think he's going to end up making the team. And guys like Juleson and Gilbert, I think are like veteran guys that they kind of want to have around.
Yeah,
So I think they're going to end up carrying 2D, but it very well could go the other way, and Lachenko could make the team. I could see that too.
yeah, yeah. I feel like teams usually more often than not go 14-7. I would think, right? That's probably
Yeah,
common,
yeah,
but
yeah. It typically is because then it's like too like I mean on defense like the fly. I mean, regardless of how you feel about him, like Igor Zamula
mm,
is still here and he's not waiver eligible, and I think
he's staying. Yeah,
yeah teams don't like to lose guys for nothing or lose what they believe is an asset for nothing, and I guess they could send Gilbert down, but um, because him and Juleson haven't really stuck out in any kind of way to me.
mm,
Juleson has stuck out when he's um, throwing knee on knee hits and getting penalties for them. That's the only time I've really noticed him out there, to be
yeah,
honest. in the preseason. But yeah, I mean, like what I think they're going to bring. I think Jolson in particular was a guy that played for Tocchet in Vancouver and stuff, and I think because of that familiarity, they're going to keep him around.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we only have 1 week until they don't. What's their first game? It's not Tuesday, is it? When's their first game?
It
You know?
is October. They're in Florida. They're opening up with the champs.
Yeah,
It is
probably the 9th.
Thursday, October 9th.
The 9th, okay. But the NHL season starts a week from today.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
also scoreboard alert: the Reds stink.
What's the score?
5-0 in the third inning.
Oh my. That's
So, Teoscar Hernandez hit a 3-run home run, and then the very next batter, I forget who it was, but the very next batter hit a home run again, back to back.
who was pitching for the Reds tonight? Do you know?
Hunter Green.
Oh, Hunter Green.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the best they could have done.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good pitcher. He's getting hit around a little bit tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he is. That's what I mean. Like they
Yeah.
couldn't. It's not like they had too many options there.
No. So, you got anything else before we get out of here?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think we covered it. So,
Yep, I'll be at this Saturday. I plan to be at the Union's last home game, so I'll have a story on firedupsports.com for that.
and
And
possibility you'll be there the Flyers Thursday.
and maybe at the Flyers Thursday. We're still waiting on word on that, so just keep your eye out for that stuff.
Absolutely. So, all right. Like us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Fired Sports. Check out the website. Always good stuff over there at firedupsports.com. We will see everybody next Tuesday. See you then.